Hello. So the new NKFL season has started, so I thought I would talk about the changes I've made to my lineup because I've changed 3 decks, which I think is the most I've changed since starting the league. Let's see. So I have my decks in these boxes. Lormer, the Noble, and Exmoor are staying, so I'm not going to really talk about these. So the first one that I'm changing out is Fotu. Oh yeah, so I already played the first match of the season, so I guess I'm talking about this before, we get too far into the season. That's on my Twitch past broadcasts, and I will upload that onto my YouTube. So this deck has been with me since the beginning, like the 3 I just showed off. But I think this one has gotten power crept out of the game, or out of the meta, unfortunately. So one of the big things about this deck is the Spartosaur and Golden Spiral. So these go really well together because you can double up on the fight effect of Spartosaur, or you can use another creature to trigger its constant effect here to destroy every non-dinosaur creature. But both creature... this deck has lots of dinosaurs. So it has 8 dinosaurs total, I believe. And then it has the Exalting going on to make them really big. But so creature control has gotten better in the meta. And so the dinosaurs don't really stick around for long. And so it's harder to get the big board of dinosaurs going. And so it's like you feel like you're at the whim of your opponent's creature control more now than ever. And it's harder to get the Spartosaur to go off because artifacts control has also gotten better. So your one artifact in the Golden Spiral is a sitting duck. Not only that, but decks are just better at generating amber. And so, like, Winds of Exchange decks generate a lot of amber. And so before, the idea with Interdimensional Graft is that you could wait until the opponent has their big burst and then take their combo amber, essentially. But now decks are generating so much amber that they can just like stop at 6 and forge and then make 6 more amber a completely different way the next turn. And so the taxing, or like the ceiling effect of Interdimensional Graft, I don't think is as effective. So Fotu is getting replaced with the juggler that suspends local color. So I did a deck tech on this one before actually. And so this is a Halifest deck. And I'm feeling like Brobnar is the new Saurian. Like they're the kings of the board. And having a card like Halifest that can grab 4 creatures, like your best creatures that combo together, and put them onto the board all at once is a more effective strategy than hoping your Saurians get clumped together, So you have Brick Nasty, so you can just gain Amber when fighting. And you have the double Get Hammer in this deck, so I can get a lot of use out of my Brobnar board. Fotu has 2 Nature's Calls, and this deck has a Maelstrom, so that's sort of an upgrade there. And I have more control over when I'm able to play my stuff because my Ganymede outposts let me archive a bunch of cards. In Photo, I can only archive 2 cards usually per game with the 2 Tau Vapors. And this deck has Corrode, so it has artifact control, which is something that Photo doesn't have. It has more Amber control too. Like I can actually delete 7 Amber in my Brobnar house with the 3 Ragnarok preps and the Bumpsy. So the Juggler is the spiritual successor to Photo in my lineup. And so the next deck that I'm taking out is Edgefield of the Pioneers Library. So I love this deck. There's so many cool things about it, like little synergies in it. But I think this deck also got power crept out. It's pretty slow. You got to make your own board, your Starlines board, to really take over the game. And so nowadays, it just spends most of its time playing catch up. And this deck, too, it's more of a control deck with the eddies, but it doesn't have many ways to actually take away the opponent's Amber. And so to replace this deck, I'm going with a more rushy deck. Win Deputy Fusion Roll Arena. So this deck, I played way back in a season before, and it went 1-1. So it actually got a win in the NKFL before. And I believe I bought this deck from Ashitaka, actually. But the cool thing about this deck is that the Star Alliance is pretty sweet with the double Kirby and double stealth mode. So I still have a double stealth mode deck. But it has Lay of the Land and Navigator Ali with Book of LEQ. So it has the combo where you can switch your house and basically play 2 turns in one. And it's more rushy than Edgefield because it has a key charge. It has a mimicry. And I just realized this, but I think, like, I realized this today. But with Creative Nurture and Imprinted Murmook, I think you could actually double up on Imprinted Murmook's ability. Like if you're trying to key charge, you could go copy Imprinted Murmook's text onto a creature with Creative Nurture if you already have this out and another creature. Make your keys cost -1, and then you play this, and then your key charge is easier to pull off. But so this deck has a lot of synergy with the house cheating, so you can play a lot of cards. So it has high efficiency and some combos and some disruption. So I'm hoping that can steal some wins better than trying to control the game with Edgefield and trying to win the long game. Because Win can more consistently win games faster than Edgefield. And before, I shied away from using Win because I think it maybe relies a little bit too much on the book combo to be good, but I still want to try it out. So the third deck I'm switching out is the Machine that regifts answers. And this is a Grim Reminders deck. So I can't say that it got power crept out. So I just shouldn't have picked this deck to begin with. The creature control is terrible. Like, all it has is 2 Scoop Ups and a Plague Wind. And I was hoping that would be enough just to pull off its Key Abduction combo, which I guess it can do sometimes. But apparently not consistently enough. Or at least to make it comfortable to play. The Plague Wind, which is... So it's archiving an opponent archiving 2 opponents' cards and the -3 power sweeper. And it's like I could recur these with Target, Ian Dixel, the thing it's called, but I'm supposed to be using that for Key Abduction, so if I'm using that to recur my creature control, then I basically already lost. So I just shouldn't have picked this deck. So I'm replacing it with a better Grim Reminders deck. I have Onophile of the Barber's Precinct. So this one has a great Brobnar, great Geistoid, great Star Alliance. The Brobnar can do a lot of damage with the Lash Outs and the Concussive Transfer. It has Island of Misfit Toys, so you can bring back your entire Geistoid. And it has Boo with that, so you can boo yourself, so it's like a draw 10. And then the Retro Technician Lees can bring each other back. So if you have one Retro Technician Lee, then if you're haunted, you can bring back like up to like 2 other Star Alliance creatures from your discard. Event Horizon, this card is so cool. So I've been having some luck with this deck. Oh, it has Tachyon Pulse. So this has great artifact control. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with this deck. So I think I'll have more success with this deck than the Machine. Oh, so what I'm going to do, though, is the Machine is actually losing its spot in the box. So it's not going to be in a nice box anymore. And Onophile will take its place in the box. Yeah. Oh, but what's worse is I'm going to try something a little different, maybe a little strange. So I'm going to scar this Archon. Give it a battle scar because it had a humiliating season in the NKFL. So I have this pen. So I'm just going to like give it a nice slash across the face here. Let me see. Like, oh no. Oh, whoops. I should have I like thought about inking my own playmat. I thought that was going to happen, and then I just like didn't prepare for the eventuality. So I scarred my playmat too. That's stupid. But now I have a scarred Archon. Scarred Archon, a scarred playmat. Yeah, but that's what you get for being bad in the NKFL. Yeah. Huh. I wonder if I can fix that somehow. That's it for now. Bye.